Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Georgie Man, and I'm your friendly neighborhood anime and manga fan. I love all things anime and all things manga, and I'm here today to talk about Mashle, Magic and Muscles, Season 2, Episode 2. So, what did I think about this week's episode? To be honest, I love this week's episode, man. This week's episode was so wholesome, and, it just made me happy. And it's so crazy, because Mashle to me has always been that show that always makes me have a smile on my face, no matter what. And I think that this episode really solidified why I love Mashle, this show, as much as I do, because it's just a silly, fun time, and yeah, it warms my heart watching it. Now, before I go any further with this week's episode, I just want to give you guys a quick reminder to make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you guys can be up to date with all my Mashle, Magic, and Muscles, as well as all my anime and manga content that I'll be providing in this channel. It really helps out a lot, and I would really appreciate it if you guys could subscribe to my YouTube channel. So if you guys could, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get into this week's episode. So this week's episode starts off where we left off last time, which is pretty much Mashle Mash being at the court hearing, and how one of the divine visionaries, he's like, yeah, we gotta execute him. And that's when Wolberg steps in, and we get a little bit of insight of Wolberg, the headmaster, and we see that he actually was the only single mage ever to be able to go toe-to-toe with Innocent Zero. And that's a big issue, a big whoa. That goes to show how powerful he is. I mean, we know that he's the strongest, he's the head honcho of the magic community. So it was cool to see a little bit of insight of his story from the brief summary we got of him. And what we see is that one of the divine visionaries is like, nah, bro, we gotta execute Mash, we gotta follow the rules. And even Wolberg is like, okay, you see Wolberg bow, put his head down and bow and be like, please defer from doing this. And it's crazy because even all the divine visions are like, whoa, this guy's a god to us, and he's willing to go this far just for this guy. And we find out the reason is because he says if this is the first time we ever gotten a message from Innocent Zero, so Mash might be able to help us track them down and defeat them somehow. And what we see is that pretty much the divine visionary is still not buying it, and he's like, nah, this guy needs to be eliminated. And then that's when we cut to Rain, and Rain is even bound as well, and everybody's like, whoa, the sword divine visionary is like, yeah. And it's it's crazy because that goes to show how much they're willing to put their lives and their legacies on the line for just Mash. And I thought that was great character development for both Rain and the headmaster. And continuing on, we see that even the judge guy, the guy that was appointed to the sentencing and all that, he vouches for Mash too, and he's like, listen, he saved my life, I'm down for him. And eventually everybody is able to convince that the sand divine visionary, the desert one, to pretty much let it go. And he's like, okay, I'll let it go under 3 conditions. We can use you as a pawn to, anytime Innocent Zero shows up, and you gotta become a candidate for the divine visionary exams. And if you can do all of those, you're fine. And he pretty much matches all right, I'll make sure to defeat Innocent Zero with my fist. And you see Mash pulling his fist up, and then we cut to a throne, and it looks like it's shaking as well. So that impact, whatever Mash punch, I'm sure he was able to shake wherever he's at, the Innocent Zero, whatever. So that was impressive feat by Mash. And then from there on, we cut to much more fun, lighthearted stuff, where we see pretty much Mash reunites with his crew in the in the dorms. And it's funny because he tells them everything that went down, and then Lance is like, oh, so you really didn't have magic, huh? So you weren't just BSing. And it was funny. I thought it was fun, that little flashback where he says, you're trying to use magic, you're trying to beat me without using magic. And it's oh, he actually didn't have magic. That's crazy. So that was funny. And then we see Dodge is like, hey, let's have fun, let's go out. And they just go out to the street, and they're all wearing this ridiculous outfits. Everybody, even Finn is the straight man. He's the guy that calls it how it is. And Finn is how do I, what are these guys? Why are all these guys freaks except me? And you see freaking Lance wearing a shirt of his sister. Dot is wearing armor. Mash is in his workout clothes. It was ridiculous. It was funny, and I loved it. I love all that silliness. And then they play some carnival games and all that. It's fun, a little silly. It was so funny. It was just lighthearted. And there's a little dart game. You gotta blow owls their snot in this. It's freezes, and I know it's crazy to explain. But the point is, like, Dodd, like, he shoots it at Mash's head, like, playing around, and he gets stabbed. And then Mash just puts him in a flying armbar. And they just fight it. It was just fun. It was funny. And proceeding from there, we see that they go to a wand shop, and because Lance wants to get a new wand, and as well as Finn, and Finn gets a new wand. And Lance is, like, testing it out to see if he needs a new wand, like I said. And pretty much what happens is there's a wand in the floor. And Mash is like, oh, I'm going to give it a try. And the guy, the store owner was like, listen, this is like an impossible wand to lift. It's so heavy. No magician, no matter how much magic or muscles you have, you cannot lift this. If you lift it, you know, it's said in the legend that it'll spring elf water. And this elf water makes like wands become like super powerful. And pretty much is like, it's kind of like the sword in the stone from my understanding. And then Mash is like, okay, and he just lifts it, and you see like this spring of water from, I guess from the elf fountain or whatever, starts sprinkling everywhere. And it was hilarious. It's like, I guess I'm keeping it. He's like, yeah, go ahead, you can keep it. And from there on, we see pretty much we cut back with the rest of the crew, and they're just having fun. Like, they're all just chilling, and Lemon joins the fray, and they're just living their best lives, man. They're just, you know, having silly, fun adventures, and I loved it. And before that, though, we saw that pretty much one of the Innocent Zero guys, well, the what's his name? The desert one. I keep forgetting. The desert one, he's having dinner with this guy, and this guy, he's pretty much sending like a bounty hunter to take down Mash. And how this plays out is that we see pretty much Innocent Zero, this guy, I don't know what, like the desert guy, he just has it out for Mash, like straight up. I don't even know how else to put it. He just has an agenda, and it's because he knows that he doesn't have any magic, and we know that he's biased towards that, so he wants to eliminate Mash, no matter the cost. And this magician guy, he tells him everything. He's like, okay, I'll take the job. But then he finds out that Mash beat Abel without magic. It's like, oh, I might regret this. And that's when we, like I said earlier, we cut to pretty much what's her name, Lemon, you know, she joining the fray, and they're all having fun, they're all taking pictures, they're just having a blast, man. It's very sweet, very wholesome. And we see that at one point Mash is like, you know, shy and like kind of timid, and he's like, you know what, this was really fun, like let's do it again, guys. Like I really like this, like this was a great experience. And it made my heart, but like it was just happy, man. Like Mash has his friends, and it's sweet and it's cute and it's awesome. And you know, Mash is like, let's try this again in the future again, and he's like, yeah, we'll do it for sure. And how we pretty much end the episode, we end the episode in a very like lighthearted note, because Mash, you know, he goes and visits his dad, and that's where we pretty much see that you know, Mash's dad just breaks down. It's like, oh Mash, I love you, my son. It's cute, man. This is just so adorable. This show is just cute. It's, you know, it's funny and it's wholesome. And like what else can I say? It was very wholesome watching this episode. And we see Mash's dad just hugs him, and he's like, oh, I love you, my son. And then the cop guy's like, how's school going? He's like, oh, it's been easy peasy. You know, it's all like, oh, shaken up. And then we see that, you know, Mash's friends join the fray. And Mash's dad was so happy. Like this, oh man, this made my heart like go 3 sizes. When he's like, you know what, Mash was always like distant, and he couldn't make friends because, you know, I had to keep him a secret. But I'm just happy that he's able to have friends like you. Like, and oh man, come on, that has to get you in the heartstrings. Come on, guys. But that was very sweet. And then finally we see that pretty much the bounty hunter guy, the guy that the desert king, you know, one of the divine visionaries sent out, and looks like he's gonna about to interfere in Mash's like fun with his family and his friends, and he's gonna like probably eavesdrop on them and just like attack him. But who stops him? Rain shows up, and Rain is like, nah, I won't let you hurt him. Like, and he's like, well, no, my bad. The guy says like, are you his bodyguard or something? He's like, no, I just happened to stroll by, which I call that BS. He was probably guarding him. But yeah, we end the episode with that, and Mash and them, none of them know that they were about to be under attack. So I thought it was a great way to end the episode. But yeah, overall, solid episode. Loved it. It was very fun. Can't wait to see more from it, because I love the Mash, and this season has been great so far. Now, with all that being said, what do you guys think about this week's episode? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys think it was alright? Whatever you guys thought, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, thank you so much for sticking all the way to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more martial magic and muscles, as well as more anime and manga content in the near future. But yeah, with all that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.